Main Street in the small town of Waupaca, Wisconsin has completely transformed in the last 5 years. Main Street has gone from 4 blocks of buildings half occupied to 4 full blocks with something going on at every building. 5 years ago, the street and sidewalks were beat up, narrow, and had some 20th century infrastructure. Now the entire street has been redone, including new sidewalks, benches, plants, lights, and street signs. So now that Waupaca's big Main Street project has concluded, what is life on the new Main Street like? Today we talk to 3 different businesses and get their perspectives on what their day-to-day lives are now like. So the next person we're talking to is Penny Harper. She works at a title company in downtown Waupaca called Nightberry. Penny will tell us how working at a title company can lead you to be just as involved in the community as if you were working at a gift shop or you're working at a bank or anywhere else.
So Nightberry mostly works with lenders and realtors on closings, but also like typical homeowners or people that are buying property. But we mainly try and stay involved in the community as much as possible because that's really where our business comes from, others in the community. And so I feel like the more that we are out in the community and involved, the more people are aware what a title company is or what we even do.
So what makes Waupaca so appealing that you want to stay compared to going elsewhere?
Oh my goodness. Lots and lots of reasons. Friends, family, community. My husband and I, Kevin, love to be doing community things, events going on. I love the community. I love what they've done to our main street, to the downtown area, and how cute that is. Once a year, Kevin and I go downtown and do we call it the Hallmark night. And so we'll get dressed up in like old fashioned clothes and go shopping locally. And last year the snow was falling, and it's just all those feels of community and all those joys that you think about. It's a Wonderful Life, and that's
Yeah.
exactly where we live, in a wonderful life. So
Have you noticed that with being on Main Street with your job that you have felt more connected to everyone else that works on Main Street, more connected to the downtown as a whole, and you enjoy it more because of that?
oh my goodness, yeah. So Nightberry, before it got to Main Street, so about 6, 7 years ago, maybe, we were in the building next to Stangy's, which is now Java Jive. And although it was a great spot for us, a good location, I love being on Main Street. So just being on Main Street makes me feel connected to the community and connected to the people in our community. I also feel like on Main Street, because of right where we are, we're able to see new things going in or what's going on. I will often step outside the office because we're an office building, so we don't always get the fun people in the store. We work with some fun people, don't get me wrong, but we don't always get the fun shoppers that are like on vacation or things like that.
Yeah.
So every once in a while I'll get to step outside and say, hey, did you make it all the way down there? Did you go to this store? What are you looking for? Can I help you with something? So I try and involve myself wherever I can to support the other businesses downtown. Just being downtown, I feel like we are more a part of the community and not just some title insurance company out in the middle of nowhere. Granted, there's a few other title insurance companies on Main Street too, but Nightberry's the best.
How does Nightberry make sure it's involved in a small community like Waupaca, and how are you involved with downtown events?
So Nightberry comes from the Racine area. We have a bigger office in Milwaukee, La Crosse. We're in those bigger cities, but I think it depends on the people that work in each community or each office that makes it feel smaller or more intimate. So because Waupaca is so community oriented, I definitely just want to make sure that we're involved in as many community events as possible. And granted, we can't like just throw money out there and sponsor events. Do you know what I mean? There has to be like a rhyme or reason to things, and it has to serve our customers too. But I also feel that events like 715 Harvest Fest, which we are very involved in this year, and donating raffle baskets. And I'm in charge of the raffle baskets and getting those together. So we want to stop in at local businesses so that not only we use the local businesses, but they use us too. So when they do decide to buy, sell real estate of some sort, they remember, Nightberry was involved in 715 Harvest Fest, or a few years ago, we were involved in Oktoberfest for Rotary. So we try and stick with as many of those smaller events as we can, and donate where we can, and donate where it benefits our customers and our community.
Well, and you are even more involved with the community yourself because you are a Waupaca Area Chamber of Commerce ambassador. What does that mean, and what do you do as a chamber ambassador?
We do ribbon cuttings and we notice signs, and we have the thank you sponsorship coming up where we will go around to different area businesses and just thank them for being part of the community. And then I help out with Business After 5. So that's an event done once a month. If you're part of the chamber, then you attend that event, meet other people that do like-minded things like you do, or not even like-minded things. So I might attend an event and meet, the owners of Kingberry for the first time. I do know them, but you get to meet different people in the community and figure out what they all do. And sometimes you just learn new things that you didn't realize what all these people do in this community to support it. My husband's been working at the foundry now for the last 3 years, I believe. And I will be honest, I've lived in this community my whole life, had no clue all the things that they do. So,
Yeah.
and how involved they are in our community. And I don't know what Waupaca would do without them. So it's going and attending business events is helping me realize how great the community we live in really is, and what it does for each other. Like, I think we all help each other out in one way, shape, or form.
Thank you, Penny, for being on the podcast today. And it was great to hear your perspective.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for asking me. I appreciate it, Joe.
Congratulations on Huck and Finn. Huck and Finn's a newer gift shop in downtown Waupaca. When did you guys open up?
June of last year, 22.
What has it been like having a gift shop in downtown Waupaca?
It's been awesome. All the store owners and business in town are so welcoming and helpful, and we love our customers. And just being a part of Main Street right now, it's really fun.
What was it like opening up Huck and Finn, the process of getting your business started? You guys opened in 2022, so I'm
Mhm.
assuming some of the pre-preparation was during the pandemic. What
Mhm.
was that like?
We got a lot of our education just off the internet. Neither of us have ever worked in a store before. We honestly didn't really know what to expect. So, a lot of self educating books for business plans and loans, and banks taking a chance on us at the time that we did open up. In renovating, the prices were astronomical. So, we definitely had to pivot ideas and get very creative, but it was good. It was interesting having to find merchandise, affordable and good shipping costs during that time as well. So there's just a lot of education, a lot of learning as we go.
What made you want to open up Huck and Finn?
Um, I've always loved home decor, and I guess one day I just decided, I don't really like what I'm doing anymore. I think it's time. Let's just go all in. So I guess just kind of after the pandemic was like a big eye opener. which I think it was for a lot of people, changes we can make in our life. So,
What has it been like for you working in downtown Waupaca now? How has it benefited your life?
Definitely met a lot of new people since we've been downtown. A lot of other business owners and become friends with them. That's been a pretty positive thing for us. Just being a part of it as a whole, being downtown, we enjoy that very much. That's part of what we wanted, why we want to live in our building too, in the same building as our store, to take it all in like the old days when everybody lived above their stores.
but we like it because we can help out other businesses in town, not only just gain relationships with them, but we give to them and they give back to us, and it's just really cool to be a part of that. Everybody supports everybody.
Megan, what have you noticed how things have changed for you since opening up Huck and Finn?
Yeah, we definitely have gained a lot of new relationships with people, customers who have turned into friendships, good friendships. I really like meeting new people who have the same interests as we do. I love, like, we can talk home decor, renovating, historic buildings, just there's so many different angles of so many people who come in and we're able to talk, and that we love that. Being able to meet people with the same interests as us has been really fun.
Main Street got redone, and were you guys working on Huck and Finn while the street was getting redone, or did Huck and Finn
Yes.
open
Yeah.
after?
Huck and Finn opened
Yes.
after our half of the Main Street was finished. When we bought the building, they were just tearing up the first half out in front. So
That was cool.
it was kind of nice that we didn't have the hiccups from not having foot
Mhm.
traffic on the street side for our business because we were working on the building, getting it ready. So
It was kind of cool to improve our building when Main Street was being improved out in front. Just kind of doing it together was just a neat process.
mhm,
What is your favorite part about working on Main Street?
The location, the people,
people
I mean, all the business owners are the nicest people.
meeting all the
Yes.
customers and talking to them.
Mm-hmm. Other locals.
I keep the husbands entertained while the wives shop.
So many people just rooting us on, and we're excited to do the same to other new businesses and keep it going.
Is there anything that maybe you'd like to see in downtown Waupaca that isn't already
Restaurants?
there? Restaurants,
More restaurants.
or any other
Yes.
improvements? The obviously downtown's improved so much since like 2020, but
Mm-hmm.
is there anything other than restaurants that you would maybe like to see more of in downtown Waupaca that would help support your business and working in
I
downtown?
mean, I guess we welcome all businesses, more retailers and restaurants. I mean,
Every person that walks down Main
more home,
Street's
more
a
clothing.
potential customer
Yeah.
for everybody. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody wanted to open another home decor store here on Main Street, we would be fine with that because more the merrier, right?
mhm.
Yeah, that's not the same
Mhm.
thinking in every small town. A lot of small towns
Mhm.
think, oh, I don't want more stores to open
Mhm.
because there'll be competition.
We try to come up with ideas of how we can be different because I don't want to be irrelevant. I want, we all want to stand out in our own ways.
We have multiple home decor stores
Yeah.
already,
Mm-hmm.
but they're each different in their own ways. So
Yeah. If somebody already has that in their store as a big display or specialty item, then it's like, no, we'll go find our own, So I would just like to think that future businesses would be creative and do their niche.
It's really cool and very interesting that everyone is in it for making downtown stronger, not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily like, oh, I want my store to be number one. Well, everyone does, but not like in a super
everybody wants that,
competitive
We,
but we
way.
all need each other to survive
yeah,
at the end of the day.
yeah, we don't have to be number one. We just want to be successful and do what we love, pay the bills.
Mhm.
Well, thank you, Michael and Megan Swisher, for being on PodPaca today, for being on the podcast. I am here with the co-manager of the Nutrition Center, Emily Murphy. How are you today, Emily?
I'm good, Joe. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for joining PodPaca here today. And it'll be awesome to hear from you about your perspective of co-managing a grocery store in a small downtown. Your grocery is a smaller grocery, but it is also the only grocery store in downtown Waupaca. So that is a very cool and unique experience. So what made you want to work at the nutrition center?
Actually, it was Linda. So when Linda would come in, whenever you come in the store, you always are greeted with Linda would say hi and a smile, and she'd remember who you were. And I just liked the environment when you walked in the door. And so that's what made me want to work here, is just to learn from her. Her knowledge is vast of all different things that happen, of all different kinds of things, such as nutrition, health, wellness, problems that people bring. So I wanted to learn from her, but also to work in an environment that is family oriented, or like, for example, all of us employees who work here, we all think of each other as family. So we have our backs. It's not like you just come to work and you're treated like a number. Here,
Yeah.
you're treated as a person.
And Linda, just for our listeners out there, is the owner of the nutrition center, and she has owned the nutrition center for how long now?
For 45 years. And then, but the store here has been here 49 or 50 years this year. So she bought it from someone who owned it for 4 or 5 years previously. I don't remember their name. So our store has actually been open for 50 years on Main Street, which probably makes us one of the older stores. Linda has done an amazing job at owning this store and cultivating the environment here.
What have you noticed specifically since you started working at the nutrition center, maybe compared to other jobs, about what it's like working on Main Street in downtown Waupaca? How is it different?
So before I worked here, I worked at Walgreens and I've worked at a couple other places. What's different here is the ability to establish relationships with your clientele. All of our customers and our people who come in, we almost become involved in their lives. We are there when their grandbaby's born, or their baby's born, or when a baby's sick, or hey, my kid has COVID, what do I do? Or hey, do you have, my child was just diagnosed with celiac disease. Do you know what this is? We have a lot of different things that help the store, or help people in the store, for allergies, for health and wellness, in so many different ways people come into us. And so that's fun. Is what I really appreciate the most is the relationships you establish with people. It's not just like you're a customer or a number. We actually like to get to know you, and we like to see you again and again. And it's just really, that is the best part about working on Main Street, is getting to know who is downtown. There's a conversation that happens that can't necessarily happen because the rules at other stores.
Yeah. The city of Waupaca redid Main Street a couple years ago. How has the improvements made on Main Street helped the nutrition center?
So what it's done is it made us more accessible by people walking by. And sometimes they're like, oh, they look in our door and that it's not for them, or they'll come back another day. Or other times they walk in and they're so surprised because they didn't know we even existed. The additions to Main Street that have been really great have been our neighbors who have come in next to us. And all the people here, all the owners or the people who manage it, that is what kind of also helps make it, because we all work together. So like on a snow day, we'll all help each other shovel the snow. We'll all do that. So I'd say the improvements brought in our neighbors who have brought in people because of the amount of stores on Main Street.
What was your favorite part about working in downtown Waupaca?
The people, just every day we have different people come in, and it's the people that bring you here. It's the relationships that you form. The people 100%.
Yeah, thank you again, Emily, for telling us about your experience about being in downtown Waupaca at one of the longest running Main Street locations that are still open.